Shakespeare professor Devin Wallace says it's not a question of to eat or not to eat at her pick, but which tasty dish to try. She says for a truly elevating experience, head over to Lincoln Avenue and stop in at Rickshaw Republic.
A lot of people don't know where Indonesia is. We're in Southeast Asia, so Indonesian food share the same style as a Singaporean, Malaysian, and even some Filipino and Thai in terms of the ingredients. So the chef is my mom, so it's a family restaurant, so me and my dad, we manage the front, and my mom and my brother manage the kitchen. A lot of the recipe are traditional dishes in our family that we've eaten since I was born. As a family, we have to, we've known each other for forever. It's not just about running the restaurant. We are a family that has a tight bond, and especially we are a family that is away from our homeland. So we know we have to stay together. We know that we are working together not just to run the restaurant, but this is part of our life too. Thank you. Thank you.
Devin, you say the food at Rickshaw Republic is exciting and surprising. Tell us why you chose it.
So I had been actively seeking out a place that had Indonesian cuisine.
Which is not easy to find in Chicago because there's only one place.
I know, there used to be two, and I think one of them's closed. This is the one place I can find that serves this kind of food. I lived in Belgium for a year and used to frequently go to the Netherlands, into Amsterdam.
And the Dutch colonized Indonesia, so there's a huge influence on the food. You see a lot of it when you're living in these areas.
And so Indonesian food is heavily influenced by Dutch food, so it still has a European palate. I think that if someone has had Thai food before, then that palate could be somewhat familiar, although it is very distinct from Thai food. But some of the spices are somewhat familiar, and the use of coconut milk for the cream sauces. And it's also a lot of fun because a lot of people haven't had Indonesian food before, so it'll be a new experience. It'll be a new type of way of expanding your taste buds, of broadening your horizons, and I love that about it.
Well, what should people get at Rickshaw Republic?
So I always get the rice table, and that comes out with rice and crackers, and then many, usually more than 10 small little dishes. These dishes rotate, it's different frequently, but always chicken, always beef, always a noodle dish. You get that, it's a very good idea to bring a group. You need to be able to share that amount of food. It's communal eating.
Overall, let me say this. I felt that, you go and you get Asian food, whether it's Chinese or Thai or whatever, you're familiar with those flavors. There's sesame oil, there's garlic, there's a few things that you expect. This is different.
Yeah.
It's very different. And the underlying flavors of some of these dishes, almost taste a tad sour. There's there's a little bit of the sourness to that, which I love.
Don't know what the spice is.
I don't either. We had pork belly.
I've seen a recurring thing.
Gotta have pork belly. I think that the dish that stood out in everyone's mind was what they call their wings. And they are glazed and sweet and spicy. And they are the waiter described them, I think, as being pterodactyl wings. They're very large, but they are very tender. We enjoyed everything on the menu so much that we just were not able to do dessert. So
now you have to go back.
Now we have to go back, and we will.
Yes.
Well, James, what did you eat there?
I had the Rosales, which was kind of a puff pastry with a side sauce. And so I looked at it and I thought, like, okay, this is a glorified Hot Pocket. And I'm happy. It looks familiar. So the name was intriguing. So I got it because it's different, but biting into it, it was familiar. And it did have some Thai food-like qualities. And then I had the chicken curry with coconut rice. And I'm not a fan of coconut water, and I don't know why people love it, because I cannot stand coconut water, but I loved the coconut rice.
Okay.
And I'm a big fan of coconut rice now.
See?
Who knew?
It's all about trying things.
It is, right. When you go, do you find that the waitstaff tell you what's in the food, and do they recommend what to try?
I think that it depends on how busy the night is. It's a small staff. It's a family that owns the restaurant, and the mother is actually the cook.
Yes.
So she's out in the back, and she'll sometimes come out and check in on people.
But
And
they were
she's
very
lovely.
nice. I have to
Big
say.
conversation
Yeah,
with her.
she's wonderful.
James, do you wish that someone would have maybe held your hand a little bit more through when navigating the menu?
Yeah, Catherine, I really would have, only because, Indonesian food is new to me,
Yeah.
but the actual flavors, some of them were not.
Right.
But I just would have liked to have had someone say, hey, this is
This is
something.
this.
Yeah, you should try this. You need to experience this. This is your first time at the restaurant.
I love a place where the people responsible come out of the kitchen and talk to you about where they're from.
Yeah.
We were on our way out the door and she came out of the kitchen and just engaged us in conversation. She's such a lovely woman, and the conversation went forever, and we loved it.
Well, Pierre, I mean, the setting of in having that conversation, let's talk about the decor of this restaurant.
It blew me away. From the ceiling were hanging a couple of hundred puppets. Then, beyond the next divider, the wall is filled with masks.
Yeah.
And they're also
I love the mask.
beautiful.
And his inspiration was the markets in Indonesia. And so they're supposed to kind of take you through the markets, because each one would have a stall. So one would have all these puppets, one would have all these masks, one would have all the umbrellas and the parasols. Well, Devin, you chose Rickshaw Republic. Sum it up for us.
Trying this new kind of food is exciting, it's engaging, and it's also very family oriented. I love it.
James?
Great food, wholesome, beautiful artwork. It's just a culinary wonderland.
Pierre?
I very much enjoyed this restaurant. It was a whole new palette of flavors and taste for me. So I really liked it for those reasons. I would go back.
You can try the rice table and more at Rickshaw Republic, 2312 North Lincoln Avenue, 773-697-4750. Open for dinner Tuesday through Friday and lunch and dinner on the weekends. Alcohol is BYOB, reservations are not accepted, and the average tab per person is $25.